It's taken Japan by storm, and now it's ready to conquer the globe. This is Bushido, the toughest form of hand-to-hand combat in the sporting world. The spirit of Bushido brings together in the same ring the martial arts and kickboxing, wrestling and Western-style boxing. This is not wrestling as you've known it before. This is for real.
My name is Ted Pelk, and I'm going to take you through the rules. In professional wrestling rules, you may not use the pointy part of your elbow or punch to the head with a clenched fist. You are not allowed to headbutt it in any way, and if any kind of butting occurs, it will be considered a foul and points will be deducted. When your opponent is on both hands and knees, you may not kick to the head. If and when your opponent raises even one hand and is able to defend himself, you are allowed to kick to any part of the body, including the head. When your opponent has both knees and both hands on the ground, you may not kick to the head, but you can kick anywhere else. 4 points are deducted when a suplex results in a count. 3 points for a knockdown. And 1 point for a suplex. You can break a submission hold by escaping to the rope, but 1 point will be deducted. Bouts can end in KO, TKO, or submission.
JT Southern tops the bill at the Korakuen Hall in Tokyo tonight. The American faces Nobuhiko Takada of Japan. The commentators, Jeff Thompson, 5 times world karate champion, and our American technical expert, Ted Pelk.
So in the main event, we see UWF International's Nobuhiko Takada squaring off against America's JT Southern. And next on the bill, Tatsuo Nakano versus Yoji Anjo. Kazuo Yamazaki versus Yuko Miyato. America's Tom Burton in his second match in the UWFi going up against Kiyoshi Tamura. And to start the evening is Rudy Levado versus Makoto Oe in a kickboxing match.
Other corner, 63.45秒, Rudy Levado!
Rudy Levado fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, a well-skilled kickboxer in the world rankings. And he's 142 pounds.
Other corner, 63.5 kilo, Oe Makoto!
And Oe, fighting out of Tokyo, he is the former shootboxing super lightweight champion. He comes in at 140 pounds.
Oe in the blue corner, Levato in the red corner for 5 3-minute rounds of kickboxing.
Okay, now this is going to be a fight where you're going to see 2 very different styles going up against each other. Rudy Levado, the Western fighter, who a lot of Western kickboxers rely on more of their punching ability, where Oe, the Oriental fighter, who has studied a lot in Muay Thai, which is Thai kickboxing, Thai boxing, is more comfortable with his legs.
The referee seems to be able to kick as well.
There you see the power Oe possesses in those low kicks. One thing I'd like to mention is this Levado. Not only is he a kickboxer, but he's a regular professional boxer who has a lot of fights in Las Vegas. So he really knows what he's doing when he's throwing those punches.
Levado certainly looks a very good puncher, but I'm really looking forward to seeing Oe's kicking. I actually experienced some of kicking ability in Thailand in '82, and I actually saw a palm tree curved into a bow, and they actually kick that every single morning.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? One thing I'm going to be interested in seeing is, definitely already I can tell that Rudy is going to try to fight with his punching ability. He feels much more comfortable with his punching ability, where Oe feels much more confident with his kicking. One problem that Rudy is going to face is he's going to have to get inside the kicks. A human leg is much longer than an arm. Even if Levado is not in punching range, Oe is certainly in range to be able to kick him, like in that instant. Rudy was too far away for him to be able to punch.
Some good shots being exchanged here. And that point on kickboxing, most boxers who came into kickboxing in the early 80s, tended to throw the mandatory 6 kicks and then rely on their boxing skills. But you can see here that Oi is quite prepared to trade both hands and feet.
Yes, and there's no mandatory rule about how many kicks you have to throw in a round or anything, and you're allowed to kick to anywhere except the groin. You're allowed to knee, except you're not allowed to elbow. It's very close to Muay Thai rules.
And very similar to the type of rules I used to compete in. The only difference being the referees would actually stop at the drawing of blood or disqualify for a knockout.
You notice Owe really favors the use of the knee in the clinches.
It is a Muay Thai trait, though, to weaken the opponent with the knee strikes and then finish them off with the more fancied and stylish kicks.
Rudy is showing his wonderful punching ability, and actually he's scoring it down.
Well, he looks in trouble, but still looks pretty confident. A favourite with the Tokyo crowd.
And the referee is counting that as a knockdown. Both fighters in a kickboxing match, which we refer to as a standing bout, both fighters start with 40 points, and points are deducted. Levado with a 10-point lead over Owe.
Okay, a good build-up to be looked forward to in the next round. Both fighters seem intent on winning this match. And as I would see it, Levado seems to have the upper hand.
Look at those punches. He comes up with a beautiful uppercut. And here's where he scores the knockdown. And Owe loses 8 points for that knockdown.
Okay, into round 3. Levado ready and out in the middle.
As I said before, one problem Levado is going to face is he has to be able to get inside to throw those punches. He has to be in a close range where Owe can be pretty far away and land those kicks. And that was a beautiful no kick. Levado in trouble.
A brilliant kick by Owe, certainly slowing his opponent down. And Levado really looking in trouble now.
He's going to be feeling that tomorrow. Both fighters really throwing a lot.
The lighter weights always seem to give more action for me. They really do give value for money, and they're really beginning to excite this crowd. Punches and kicks are being exchanged on both sides now.
And Levado's coming back with those punches, showing his punching ability, and he looks like he has Owe in trouble. Owe should, now that he's clinching him, he should be throwing those knees.
Levado actually showing some of his kickboxing ability as well. I mean, what happens when these kickboxers or Muay Thai come up against the all-round fighters within UWF?
Well, that's always an interesting fight, but the UWF fighters generally always come out on top because they know all aspects of fighting.
So the speed and the agility being shown here by these lighter fighters wouldn't count for much.
Well, if somebody throws a kick and the wrestler catches it and brings him down, the kickboxer is very unfamiliar with fighting on the floor. That's not in his training regimen.
But as we say, the skill factor and the speed factor could actually count if the sharp effect of these kicks and punches actually started to tell on these all-round fighters.
Yes, what they would have to do is step in and step out. They'd have to work their punches and kicks off of them and step out, not to get caught.
But yes, a lot of the wrestlers are kickboxers, so I suppose they trade and give as good as they got.
Yeah, so they're just as comfortable with the kicking as the kickboxers are, and much more.
But Levado here seems to still be on the offensive on Oe, and punching ability really beginning to count.
And Levado looks like he's in a lot of trouble right now. Just being pretty defensive right now.
Will those low kicks actually tell in the latter stages of the fight?
Well, definitely, that's going to change the fight. You see, he's having a lot of trouble now standing up. And whatever kicking ability Levado has, That's certainly taken a lot out of it.
We're seeing an end of a much, much valued round there for Oi, and both fighters deserving their rest.
And Levado still with a 10-point lead. There are those devastating low kicks. Here's where you really can see Oi's Muay Thai training.
Okay, back to round 4. Both fighters still looking in good shape, ready to give their all. Amazing low kick.
Devastating low kick.
Straight out of the textbook.
Oi should be worried about staying at a further distance from Levado. As for Levado, he's going to have to try to get inside.
Oh, and another low kick.
And that's what
the kicks
Oi's
are doing
trying
the
to do.
damage.
Oi's definitely not allowing Rudy to get inside for that punching distance.
And Levado offering no defense. Very little
Levado
defense.
with great punches right now.
And a knockdown.
Legs are really bothered. Now, Levado is doing some karate side kicks, which is a very defensive kick.
And it won't help him because there's no power there whatsoever. Oi's just simply, they're just bouncing off Oi.
He's really not trying to kick him with that side kick. He's just trying to push him away right now.
Well, I don't think much is going to stop Oi
Oh, but he
now.
catches him with a nice right straight. Another right straight. Oh, and a third one.
Levado.
And Oi
Brilliant
in
bout.
trouble now. Levado's coming back.
Amazing action by these two fighters. The Japanese crowd really getting behind them both.
The boxer versus the kicker.
The Japanese crowd obviously behind Oi, but I think at this present moment in time, Levado certainly begins to get some of his own support.
They're rooting for both fighters at this point. Both fighters showing a great display of courage. Oi seems to be a little more gassed.
Gassed, can I take that American colloquialism to mean tired?
You see it.
But Oi very much the one who should be fresher. I mean, Levado's taking the low kicks. He should be sapped of his energy.
He should be, but always taking a lot of devastating shots to the head, too. Rudy is managing to get inside to pump enough punches in there.
In fact, Oi really beginning to show the strain. And it'll be interesting to see if Levado could just get that one shot that could actually win him the match.
Yeah. In those clinches, you can actually tire your opponent out, even if you're not throwing the knees, by the neck wrestling, by grabbing a person's neck and continually pulling down. That puts a real strain on your opponent. And we got 30 seconds to go in this round.
It's still both fighters giving their all in a very exciting bout. But Oi very much looking the tide of the two.
They're both in great shape, great stamina.
But both fighters taking a lot of punishment in this round.
And this was a good round for Oi. He's caught up on his points. Both fighters with 29 points.
And the floor being clean, I mean, there must be a hell of a lot of sweat out there.
Well, that's just to prevent slipping. See those flurry of punches right there, and Oi takes him down with a low kick. Levado's leg is really bothering him now.
What do you think the cornerman will actually be saying to his man?
Well, with the cornermen, for Levado, they're obviously must be telling him to get in. He has to block those kicks. He has to at least block one kick and move in on side. He has to be in close range when he's throwing his punches. As for Oi's corner, they're probably saying, stay away, stay as far away from him as you can, and just try to chop him down with those devastating low kicks.
Okay, this is the 5th and final round in a very exciting bout.
And that's exactly what they're doing. You see Oi trying to keep his distance, and Levado looking for an opening to come inside.
Oh, that was a brutal kick by Oi.
And Levado's in trouble now.
Levado punching his way out.
Now he's getting Oi back. This is really a back and forth fight. Anything could happen. Anybody could win in this fight.
Levado black trunks, Oi in the white trunks.
Oe obviously with a broken nose right now. His nose really looks plastered across his face.
Levado putting in some excellent combinations.
You notice Levado tried to throw a kick, but it didn't have much authority there. He's always really done a good job at taking his legs out.
Oe looking the more tired of the two.
There he goes again with that side kick.
He used to say in our sport, the panic defense, that side kick.
Yeah,
just
now he's trying to keep him away, which he shouldn't be doing, but...
Both fighters still waiting for the big shot.
Yeah, they're both looking for an opening right now at this point. They don't want to throw any wasted weapons right now.
Certainly not a case of trying to improve or to impress the judges in any way, shape or form. Both will be looking for a knockout, I would think.
This is amazing. This has been non-stop action since the opening bell, and they're still going.
This fight is really close. And just to remind viewers, to win a fight, you've actually got to win by 3 clear points. But as we can see, a brilliant all-action bout.
It's been a pretty even fight. I would hate to be the judges for this one.
Levado in the black trunks still seeming to want to go for that big shot and try and steal it in the final seconds.
How would you judge this fight, Jeff?
I'd say Levado has got the slight advantage. The crowd's still edging on Oe. Oe's had the kicks, but Levado for me has had the all-round territorial advantage here. And the end of a fantastic bout, with Levado also thinking he's won. Oe going back to his corner, looking rather worse for wear.
And there's a 2-point difference. Oe with 27 points, Levado scoring 29 points. So this bout is declared a draw. But Oe says it's not a draw. He's arguing. He's saying that Levado should have won that fight. Levado won that fight.
Next bout on the bill features Tommy Burton of USA against Japan's Yoshi Tamura.
赤コーナー250パウンドトム・バートン
Fighting out of the red corner is Tom Burton from the United States of America. This is his second fight. His previous fight, he lost to Takada, but he showed great heart.
205パウンド田村清
And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, Kiyoshi Tamura, an up-and-comer in the UWF International. He's going to have to make up for a weight difference.
Okay, the action begins. Tommy Burton looking to try and gain some self-respect and gain a win here. And Tamura, as you say, climbing the ladder.
And Tamura is going to have to really do something about this weight advantage.
Will age be a factor?
I don't know if age will be a factor, but what I do know is that Tamura is known for his speed, skill, and agility. And I'm just interested to see if that's enough to overcome the weight and strength advantage that Burton has over him.
Tamura actually trying to slow Burton down with a few body kicks.
Actually, Tamura is much more comfortable with his wrestling skills, but you see he's going to the kicks. He's trying to do something that he's trying to attack Burton in a way that he's not used to defending.
Good body slap there to the floor. But Tamura's quick.
Both fighters start with 15 points in this singles match. This is a 30-minute match. Right now, Tom Burton's trying to take Tamura down to the floor.
Surprisingly, Tamura seems to want to stay on his feet.
Well, he's going to have to do something to make up for this weight and strength advantage that Burton has over him.
Well, he's certainly over him at the moment, and Burton's certainly using the weight advantage to great effect. I'm not sure what happened there.
They both action kind of rolled naturally in the ropes. No points are deducted if you fall in the ropes naturally. They just break it.
God, an interesting low body kick there. Tamura trying to actually rough Burton up. I'm not sure if that's a wise move.
You notice Burton's blocking him. The last fight against Takada, he wasn't blocking him. He was taking those low kicks full on. He seems like he's blocking those kicks pretty well this fight. He's obviously done his homework.
Burton seems to be adapting to this style of fighting very, very well.
Well, you have to be able to adapt to survive.
And he's certainly doing that. Burton looking very purposeful at the moment.
And you see Tamura going to those kicks again. He doesn't seem too anxious to want to wrestle with Burton.
I don't blame him. But the kicks aren't really finding their target yet. I mean, if we remember in the earlier bout Burton had, he suffered quite badly with low kicks. So he seems a lot more, not wary, but he's more confident handling himself in that situation.
Now we've got a serious chicken wing arm lock on Tamura. I don't know if Tamura's going to be able to escape through the ropes.
Burton seems to have him pinned down.
If he can just pick him up and twist that arm lock behind his back, but no.
Sanctuary!
It's sanctuary to escape to the ropes. The crowd enjoys that. They respect the fighters for doing that because that means that they want to continue the fight. They want to go on. They're not giving up.
Well, Tamura certainly doesn't seem to be giving up, but Burton yet again seems to be having the better of this bout. Takes him out a beautiful throw.
Now that was strength. That's the weight advantage and the strength advantage. And now he's going for a chicken wing face lock on Tamura.
Chicken wing arm lock, chicken wing face lock. Is there much difference when it gets down to it? And another sanctuary. Tamura certainly using the ropes to his advantage in this bout.
And now Burton is ahead 2 points.
I'll go along with that.
If he would have been able to put his right hand up higher and gotten a good grip with his left hand, that would have been it. And but even that, it seems
punishing. Oh, that was a serious kick round the body there. And now Tamura's gone up a gear. Beautiful, beautiful body drop.
Yeah, there again, that's about 50 pounds weight difference.
The crowd really getting into this now. There's certainly a David and Goliath battle going on at the moment.
Oh, the crowd's really excited about this. This is real professional wrestling. This is genuine professional wrestling. This is the way wrestling was many decades ago in Europe. Real submission wrestling.
And it doesn't seem too much in it. I mean, although Tamura seems to be using the ropes a lot more, there isn't too much in this bout at the moment.
Right there, Tom Burton is applying an Achilles tendon hold.
And which we know it can do great damage if used effectively. Tamura using his hands to great effect. Burton backing off. Oof.
And those heel strikes are seeming to get in. They're bothering Burton.
Well, I've had one in competition, and though it was illegal in my level of competition, you certainly knew about it.
Those slaps aren't slaps that your girlfriend does to you. Those are with the heel of the hand.
My girlfriend does. She was a former world champion. You certainly keep out of the way.
And you can appreciate the strength in that. Right now, Tamura is going for the crosslock. Oh, he almost had it there. And now Burton escapes to the ropes.
Tamura showing an amazing strength when you consider the type of poundage he's giving away. He's still moving on his feet, moving around in an alley-type style. And Tom Burton gets a bit of a slap round the jaw.
He wasn't expecting that. He caught him off guard.
Kick behind the knee there.
Burton shouldn't be kicking now. He should be resorting to his wrestling skills. He should take him down and try to go for a submission.
I think Burton's here to stay. He wants to acquire all the skills required to win.
I think he really wants to make up for that loss he incurred last time against Takada.
And he even knows the meaning of the word sanctuary. This is exciting stuff on UWF.
Tamura, he's going with a modified Boston crab right there. He has a single leg crab. but he is unable to apply it. Burton was quick enough to escape to the rope before he actually was able to apply the hold.
Tamura is actually grimacing a little bit when he's on the floor. I mean, is that the Oriental way to give the opponent a misreading of the match or how they're feeling?
Well, it depends on the fighter's style. Many fighters, they have their certain different styles. Tamura, he doesn't necessarily run away from all submission holds. If his opponent is applying a submission hold on him, he's not going to escape to the ropes too quickly, because in many cases he can actually counter a move. Oh, and Burton's going for his shoulder lock. He reverses it. And he's going for the arm cross lock. If you can break the hand, no. And he gets it.
That was a brilliant move. And there we have the winner, Yoshi Tamura.
And next on the bill is Kazuo Yamazaki versus Yuko Miyato.
赤コーナー220パウンド山崎和夫
Kazuo Yamazaki fighting out of the red corner. He is one of the top class wrestlers in the UWF International, coming in at 230 pounds.
205パウンド宮戸優子
And his opponent in the blue corner, Yuko Miyato, pound for pound, probably one of the toughest fighters, but he has to make up for a big weight difference.
So the action begins with Miyato in the blue corner and Yamazaki in the red corner. 45-minute bouts, starting with 15 points.
Miyato went for a handshake and Yamazaki just walked away.
I think this could be a bit of a grudge match. How well do these fighters really know one another? And I mean, is the respect just surface?
There's very much respect. A lot of these fighters, they live, work out together in the gym, and there's a great deal of respect for one another.
I mean, my best training partner, Pat Mackay, was someone we trained together, slept together, but when it came to competition, there was no love lost. And I think that is part of the respect that's shown. You cannot afford to give a below-par performance.
Yes. Same as the sumos in the stable. Like I said before, Miyato probably pound for pound the best fighter, but his problem is pounds. He has that weight problem. He's usually, when he's up in that ring, he's usually going up against fighters who tend to be much heavier than he is. But he does wonderful in the ring. Right there, Yamazaki got him in an ankle lock. He didn't seem so bad, but he decided to escape it anyway.
Seems to very much use his brains. I mean, that was a very good use of strategy there.
Okay, Yuko Miyato fighting out of the blue corner. Like I was saying, although he's small, he makes up for that size difference.
Throw. Yamazaki, a kickboxer.
Yes, he has a kickboxing background, but Miyato himself has a boxing, kickboxing, and karate background, and he's also well-versed in amateur wrestling. He knows all aspects of fighting, and though he's much smaller than most of the other fighters, he really makes up for it with his skill, agility, and technique, and his speed. And that's why he's fighting with the UWF International.
He's very fast, and he's had a karate background. Believe it or not, when Great Britain fought Japan over the 3 or 4 World Championships, there was somebody who quite looked like him. I'm not sure if he made the transition, but he certainly seems to have the skill. Both of these fighters seem very evenly matched.
Yeah, and they're both going against each other with kicking. They don't seem too anxious to get on the floor right now, but...
In fact, they're going head-to-head. I mean, this is pretty bullish stuff from these two fighters.
Miyato just sitting there looking for an opening.
Interesting thing about this type of fighting is it seems to keep you pretty bored in your seats, and then bang, it really explodes.
So now, I think Yamazaki he must have gotten his finger in Miyato's eye.
I mean, what happens now? I mean, could this affect the decision?
Well, they're going to stop the bout. Yamazaki was probably trying to do a heel strike. but his finger got in his eye, so they're going to stop right now. And he looks okay, there's no problem.
Well, the crowd seems pretty happy that he's able to continue, and he responds with a wicked kick to the body.
Yeah, I think that one woke him up. He wants to get back for that.
I mean, I can actually relate to Miyato. He's moving around a lot like how we used to in competition karate.
And Yamazaki comes in with a beautiful kick combination. You notice he did a crescent kick, faked him out.
Oof. That was
and
an
that's down. He takes him down, and that's 3 points.
3, 4.
This is serious stuff. Viewers.
This is the real thing. This is real, genuine professional wrestling for you.
Straight under the ribs. The referee in our sport would have been in there a long time ago. But as you can see, there's no let up here.
He managed to partially block that, and that's probably why he's still in the match right now. And he's
still a beautiful spinning kick. Miyato certainly could take this line down.
That is one of Miyato's specialties. He calls it the rolling savate.
Rolling savate taken from the French kickboxing. Very true there. But a spinning back kick in our language, but in any language, that hurts.
And yeah, I guess pain is international. And now he's going for a double wrist lock right now. He doesn't quite have the leverage yet.
Now Miyato certainly exploded into action then. And Yamazaki certainly seems to be in trouble, but he won't give up.
The referee, Wada, has the shoot sign, which means Yamazaki is in trouble right now. He's asking Yamazaki, do you give up? This referee is really on top of the action. He knows how dangerous submission holds are, and he has to be able to step in there. If a wrestler isn't willing to give up himself, sometimes the referee has to take judgment and decide to stop the bout himself to prevent injury. He has to be on top of this. Right now, Yamazaki's going for a knee cross lock on Miyato.
And Miyato looking in trouble.
And now you see Wada with his right hand with the blue wristband doing the shoot sign, which is asking Miyato, do you give up?
No, I don't see him giving up yet. He's looking for Sanctuary, he got it.
And he just manages to grab that rope. He loses a point, but now he's back up again.
And no penalty points for the Sanctuary, touching of the ropes.
You get 1 point subtracted for the rope escape.
Oof.
Miyato's leg is hurting for that submission, and you notice that Yamazaki is concentrating all his maneuvers right now on the legs, but now he's starting to headhunt. He probably thinks that now's an opening.
Yamazaki certainly working to the body, then going up to the head. Ooh,
takes him over with a beautiful belly-to-back suplex, but Miyato is still holding on his arm.
There is certainly no playing in this form of combat.
Miyato just got a point deducted for that suplex.
A point deducted?
Yes. A suplex is a bridge maneuvered move in which you take your opponent over and slam him on the back of his head or the back of his neck.
Looks all right to me, but there you go. All fair in war. Oh. Miyato under pressure. And I actually think now he's taking a breather.
Yeah. Yamazaki coming in with great knees. Miyato manages to block it, as you can see right here. He is blocking it with his hands, but it seems to be going through.
Showing a good bit of flexibility there as well.
And now Yamazaki with the Achilles tendon hold. Applying a lot of pressure on that Achilles tendon.
Both fighters seem incredibly popular with the crowd. And obviously, no, Japanese crowds can be a little bit staid, but they certainly seem to be getting into this bout.
Yamazaki is down.
This is brilliant stuff. Miyato actually just seems to take as much as he wants to and then dish it back out.
Yeah, scoring 3 more points on that down. Now Miyato is sticking for those low kicks, sticking with the low kicks. Looks like each guy's waiting for an opening. Miyato too, he probably wants to go head hunting, but he's not too confident, so he keeps on going with the low kicks.
It makes sense of that international language. A good one there.
And he takes him down. Miyato better be careful. He's running out of points right now.
Yamazaki seems to be up now. Seems to be taking advantage.
Devastating kicks by Yamazaki.
Any big techniques for the final moments? I mean, it looks as though he's going for the kill. Right around
That's
that thigh.
bothering him. Miyato better do something quick right now. He shouldn't be standing there.
This is punishing stuff.
And that's down. He can't stand up.
Ooh. I doubt if he'll get back from that.
I can
But
feel
he's showing
it.
great courage.
He's getting up.
Great courage.
But he only has 3 points left now.
3 points in the bank. And Yamazaki
He
looks to
better
want to
chase
make
and
this
take him
withdrawal.
down. And that's it. And Miyato runs out of points.
And we have a winner, Kazuo Yamazaki. Next up, Tatsuro Nakano versus Yoji Anjo.
215パウンド中野達
Tatsuo Nakano coming in at 215 pounds, a notorious slow starter who seems to always have to get hurt before he actually wakes up.
215パウンドAnjo Yoji.
Out of the blue corner, Yoji Anjo coming in at 210 pounds, another UWFi stylist who knows all aspects of fighting.
So, 45-minute bout, 15 points. They both look ready to fight.
You notice Anjo was saying no elbows, no elbows. He's worried about what happened the last time they went up against each other.
So, Nakano in the red corner, Anjo in the blue corner. Both look ready to go.
As for standing, in the standing position, I'll have to go with Anjo.
But Nakano looks very serious.
Right now, each fighter just feeling his opponent out.
Nakano looks a bit more the exhibitionist. I see the name imprinted very, very graphically for our benefit and the viewers.
I don't think Anjo is losing too much. Anjo's also an excellent showman in the ring. He really shows great technique, ability, and he also pleases the crowd with his fighting ability. Anjo puts him down. But Nakano is a good wrestler. He can take that kind of slamming. They're both wrestlers trained in being slammed and how to take falls. Right now, that's one of Anjo's specialties, his knees. He's really good, but Nakano manages to weather it and take him down, and he's going for a half grab.
It's amazing how much punishment we see that would appear unthinkable for the average viewer. Oh, and Sanctuary.
Anjo has to escape to the rope.
But yeah, just going back to that point, I mean, what would appear to the viewer to be severe punishment, it's just literally a slap in the face for most of these guys. They're that fit.
But once you get those submission holds on, there's nothing you can do. You have to run to the rope or give up. Those are deadly.
Anjo getting in some pretty effective body blows, and yeah, we're seeing a sign of blood.
I have never seen anybody be able to take as much punishment as Nakano. He is one of the toughest people I've ever seen. Like the last match, I've seen him get pounded, and he still comes back for more.
It's certainly getting graphic, but the action's still very much beginning to miss.
The question is, will Anjo have enough energy and stamina to be able to keep dishing out all his moves? And the referee stops the fight, wants to check Nakano out, but Nakano refuses.
And getting a very warm ovation from the crowd.
I told you, one of the toughest people I've ever seen. He could come back from a lot of punishment to win the match.
Anjo in the leopard trunks hanging on for dear life. Levado in the black trunks with the spark of lightning ready to explode. Undeterred by the bloody nose. Ooh.
Anjo's getting some good kicks in there, but... And now Anjo is in position for the shoulder lock.
Nakano doesn't even seem affected. He just seems to be taking his time.
He's trying to pull... Anjo's trying to pull that arm up.
That is one tough customer in Nakano.
Nakano still seems to be okay. He might be in trouble. And he manages to slip out of that one.
That was brilliantly done.
When these guys are on the floor, they're not just trying to get a breathe. They're not trying to get their breath back or relax or anything. They're looking for an opening to put an end to the match. They're looking for an opening where they can grab any kind of joint on the body, go against it, and end the match.
And as we've seen, you can get quite tired down there. Back to the ropes and sanctuary. Both fighters will have to break. Nakano actually showing a sign of weakness.
It seemed he got hurt last. He must have gotten hurt on that last move. It was hard to tell.
Anjo back on his toes, moving around, looking for the opening, putting in a good side kick there. Anjo's like a rock, though.
Nakano wants to take him down so badly. Ooh, he comes in with a knee. Ooh, a good knee to the head. Anjo swinging and comes over with a German suplex.
Beautiful. Anjo doesn't know where he is. Sanctuary going to help him now.
Beautiful belly-to-back suplex. Anjo loses a point for that.
Action really heating up. Anjo's on his toes.
Anjo's in trouble now. He's stunned, I can tell.
With
But
a
he's
bad
coming
kick.
back. Oh, he's coming back with kicks.
Nakano just seems
Beautiful
immovable.
heel strikes. Oh, and he comes up with a knee.
Oh yes, oh yes. You say when under fire, that's when you respond. Anjo really responding there with a brilliant knee strike.
He's not going to give up.
Amazing. The crowd really warming for this bout. This certainly is the real stuff.
Takes him down. That was a nasty suplex.
Throws, kicks, punches, locks. I mean, this really is complete.
Well, this is one of the oldest new sports around. This form of fighting dates back to the pancratium in ancient Rome and Greece.
And there weren't many rules then.
No, it was a fight to the death, and the fighters of the UWF International have taken the games of the pancratium and turned it into a ring sport. Right now, Nakano with another suplex, and now he's applying a face lock.
Anjo doesn't look too happy. Doesn't look too happy. Excellent. Nakano the Rock, the winner. Tatsuro Nakano wins the bout.
And top of the bill is UWF International's Nobuhiko Takada going against JT Southern.
赤コーナー255パウンド JT Southern!
JT Southern fighting out of Tennessee, coming in at 235 pounds, an American professional wrestler. Gonna test his style out.
225パウンド Tamura Nobuhiko!
And his opponent in the blue corner, Nobuhiko Takada, coming in at 230 pounds, one of UWFi's top fighters.
Here we see Takada in the blue corner, JT Southern in the red corner. Takada very much for me the main man, and man who's most impressed me over the last few bouts.
This is a 60-minute, this bout has a 60-minute time limit on it.
60 minutes. Tell me, more than the 45 minutes, is this agreed with the fighters, or is this standard rules for top fighters or top billing?
It's agreed between the fighters. It's a case-by-case situation, and they decide how much time is needed for certain bouts.
JT Southern certainly seems to fancy his chances. Southern boys have got an excellent fighting pedigree.
Well, JT Southern is a well-known professional wrestler in the American circuit. Let's see how he does in this style.
Doesn't seem intimidated at all. I mean, how well has JT Southern prepared? Do you think jet lag will have been a factor? I mean, does he get the chance to acclimatise?
He's been here a couple days. He should be able to. I don't think jet lag will be a factor in this one. I'm not sure if he's trained in kicks or not.
And how much training would he do as opposed to the main man himself? I mean, is there that much of a difference?
I don't know about this JT Southern, but I know about Takada. It's amazing, the training regiment that he has. The young guys, they work 5 to 8 hours a day, sometimes even 10 hours a day. They work out 6 days a week. That's basically their lifestyle. And Takada even trains harder than the young boys.
Does he get the day off? I mean, is he a normal human being? I mean, I know I always took a day off.
From what I see, I just know that he's in there like 6, 7 days a week working out, and this takes up most of his life.
So he's totally committed to UWF.
He's totally committed. He takes this seriously.
Well, he looks serious at the moment. Seeing him get to grips with JT Southern, who seems to be giving a good account of himself so far.
JD has to get up. He has to have more of an offense. He can't just stay on defense the whole time.
I wouldn't get up.
Takada goes for an arm lock, and JT obviously had to escape to the ropes, and he loses a point for it.
I think there's a wristband missing there. Will the referee stop the fight for that?
No. Keeps on going on.
Ooh.
I don't think we'll have too much trouble telling the difference between JT and Takada.
Yes, JT Southern actually. I think he's got some of the moves.
He's throwing those punches, but they really don't seem to have much authority. He's not really hitting with the heel of his hand. He should be hitting more with the hard part.
So pretty but ineffective. Or ineffective, should I say.
Another problem, like he has, like many of the American wrestlers, they really only have their wrestling skills. They're not too skilled in the striking techniques, which is necessary to know in the sport.
Well, we saw him attempt earlier a kick that just seemed way off the mark.
And Takada right now, he's attempting for an arm crosslock right now.
Takada really seems to play with his opponents. I mean, he's not doing too much at the moment, just enough to contain JT and then open up when he gets the right opportunity.
Well, JT's an unknown fighter over here.
I mean,
Takada doesn't know much about him. He's not going to rush in and try to just shoot everything he has. He wants to sit, he wants to study his opponent, he wants to give some time and just see what kind of weapons his opponent has before he looks for an opening. And that's what he's doing right now. He's not doing anything. He's not doing anything. He's just basically studying JT right now.
So I always went for 6 points in the shortest possible time. Case of take them before they can even get a chance to blink. But we're seeing a very studious approach here. And as I said, JT's kick's way off the mark, but having no effect whatsoever. Takada almost inviting him to get involved here. Oh! Now that one was right on the knees.
Right on the mark.
See what he does with this.
Just trying to take him over to a suplex. JT with a sleeper hold. Takes him down. He wraps Takada's stomach with his legs so he can't roll out.
5 minutes bout.
And Wada is giving the shoot sign, asking Takada if he's ready to give up.
I very much doubt it. Referee still signaling there, but Takada looks there for the duration. I mean, with JT's hair being so long, does hair pulling come into it? I mean, in some of the more extreme forms of wrestling I've seen, the hair normally gets tugged. Does that take place in UWF?
No, these fighters are disciplined. They generally, you'll never see anybody trying to take a cheap shot.
I was in one of the most disciplined combat systems and they gave me some cheap shots, but the action seems to be
Well,
lining
anything
up.
can happen.
That's right.
Right now, both fighters going for an Achilles tendon hold.
Looks
And
double submission.
Wada has a double submission sign, double shoot sign.
JT went for sanctuary first.
But JT loses that point for escaping to the rope. You notice Takada is taking control of the ring. He's in the middle of the ring, and JT Southern is the one who's circling him the whole time.
That is a very important factor in competition, especially when it's territorial. If you've got the center of the ring, you've got control of the fight.
Takada's not moving. It's JT who's orbiting him around him right now.
Oh yes, it's a
devastating heel strike. Beautiful knees.
Aye, aye, aye.
He doesn't know what to do.
And he's down. He's down.
Down. 1, 2,
And takes the
3,
count.
4, 5, 6,
Takada doesn't even seem to have broken sweat yet.
8.
That's what impresses me about this fighter. He just looks the complete fighter.
Because he's not exerting any energy at this point. Like I said, he's taking control of the ring. It's JT who's orbiting around him, who's turning around him and using up all his energy. The only time Takada will explode is if he sees an opening. He's not going to waste any of his weapons whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, JT very much being exposed now, almost inferior. And Takada just getting onto his toes now.
Whereas
breaking into a sweat.
JT is desperately trying to throw anything he can, just in desperation of something at him.
Now we're beginning to feel it. Must be approaching the final seconds to this
Takada
match.
setting up for a straight armbar.
Must be
And there's no escape there in the middle of the ring. Was that it? Yes, it was.
Brilliant. I mean, yet again, the main man to me. And the winner, Nobuhiko Takada.